Hi everybody. This is Mrs. Bassett. We're going to start with section 2.3. So let's get our, now I went back. I know that I had you do notes a little bit differently last time. So that's okay. We'll go back to the one page and see if you like that. So this is lesson 2.3, subtracting. Okay, so remember we were working on adding real numbers, now we're subtracting. So we want to really look at what's our overall rule for subtracting. Okay, subtracting. So when we are subtracting, it's almost like if you remember, if you ever hear adding the opposite, it's kind of like that. To subtract, B, you just add the opposite to it. So we kind of have a couple different examples. So I'll just say to subtract B from A, just add the opposite of B to A. Now, if you're not sure what that means, of course, we want to give you some examples, right? So let's divide our paper. Okay, and we'll have a few examples here. And I'm going to divide my paper into 6 different. Okay, any questions on that so far? All right. So for example, we'll just take something simple like this. You know, and you might say, well, why are we even, I mean, I can do this, Mrs. Bassett. What's the big deal? This should not be hard. Right. But I want you to think that it eventually might get a little more complicated if we change the signs. So really think about this as 5 plus a negative 3. And I'm always thinking on the number line. So I'm here at 5. I want to go 3 to the left. So that gives me 2. And this is why we're doing it, because it's going to get more complicated. So negative 19 minus a negative 25. Ooh, that's like adding. So I'm going to add the opposite of 25. Oh, well, that'd be a positive 25. This is where you would probably hear you're adding the opposite. That's exactly what it is. Okay. And we're going to look down, we're going to reference example 2. Now remember, this looks like something that we did last time. So now we're adding. Yikes. So I'm going to go ahead, according to the rule, I have 25 minus 19. That's 6. And then I'm going to take whatever the sign of the bigger absolute value is. Oh, well, that would be 25. Okay, so my answer is 6. All right, now it's your turn. Let's try this. Negative 15 minus 29. Okay, so in this case, what do we want to do here? Negative 15. So what would be the sign here? You're right. It would be adding, okay, the opposite. Well, if these two signs are both negative, that means I can go ahead and add them together and then just put the sign. So my answer is 44, but they're both negative. Remember I told you, you borrowed $15, then you borrowed 29 more dollars. So now you're in the hole to me, $44. How about this one? Let's try a decimal. Set 14.7 minus a negative 2.3. All right. Well, first of all, I'm going to add the opposite of this, which would be 2.3. Now, I don't know about you, but I have to line up my decimals like this. Okay, so I have to line them up because that's the way I was always taught in school. And notice they're both positive, so my answer is just 17. Okay, let's try 2 evaluation pieces. Actually, let's do x is equal to 7.1 and y is equal to negative 2.5. And I want you to find y minus x minus 12. Okay, so this is a part where we would plug and chug. So y would be negative 2.5 minus, because I'm following this, and x would be 7.1 minus 12. Wow. So let's rewrite this. So this would be negative 2.5 plus a negative 7.1 plus a negative 12. And they're all negative. Well, that's easy. If they're all negative, then my answer is going to be negative. So I'm going to add 2.5, 7.1, and 12 together. Now notice I lined them up. 6, 9 plus 2 is 11. Carry the 1, so 21.6. And what sign do I take? You're right. I should take a negative. Let's try another one. Same x and y. So x minus y minus 13. All right, let's plug 7.1 in for x minus negative 2.5 minus 13. Well, that should be 7.1 minus, I'm going to take care of my parentheses first, negative 2.5 plus a negative 13. So I'm going to take care of this bottom part right here. They're both negative. So negative 13 and a negative 2.5 is negative 15.5. So I'm going to come up here because I'm running out of space. And look at, there's 2 negatives. So 7.1 plus the opposite of, and now all of a sudden, now we're positive. So I'm going to put these over top of one another because again, I can't add decimals. 6 to 22.6, and it's positive. Okay, so you tried a little bit of plugging and chugging. Our last piece is kind of a story problem thing. So we've been talking about using the word. So change in something means to subtract. So for example, finding change in temperature or elevation. Now remember, temperature is, I mean, that's easy, a change in temperature, but elevation is change in how high something is. So let's try these 2 examples. So I want to change from negative 45 degrees Fahrenheit to 62 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so how much is the change from negative 45 all the way up to 62 degrees? What is this distance? Okay, so it's really taking 62 minus a negative 45. That's a large distance, isn't it? So adding the opposite. So what's 62 plus 45? Well, that's easy. That's 107 degrees difference. So notice I even said the word difference in here, right? Okay. How about this? I'm going from 1200 meters to negative 80 meters. So negative 80 meters, maybe below sea level, right? And I'm going, and I want to know from here all the way to here. Now, first of all, am I going up or am I going down? I'm going down. So should my answer be positive or negative? Well, it should be definitely negative. How was this? Did I get warmer? Oh yeah, I went up, didn't I? 45. So how would I be able to do this so that I ended up going, I got a negative answer? Well, I'm going to take negative 80, okay, minus 1200. Not 1200 minus 80, because that's going to give me a positive answer. So negative 80 plus the opposite, so 1200, gives me a total of negative 1280. And don't forget your units, meters. Okay, everybody, now it's your time to practice. See you later.